Okay, good morning, guys. I'm going to be talking today about Kangen water, and this presentation is going to essentially give you an outlook of everything that the water can do for you regarding your health, your finances, your personal life. So, let me get into it here. So, by changing your water, you can truly change your life. And I discovered this about 3 years ago. I was on my honeymoon in Mexico and I suffered a severe Crohn's flare. And I went into the hospital where I was basically told that I was extremely sick. And when I get back to home, that I would need to consult with my doctor about a treatment plan because of how bad I was. So I got home, and the doctor wanted to essentially give me more drugs, change the one I was on, and maybe or up the dose. One of the options there, and I didn't like that. So what I did was I searched and I found the Kangen water, tried that out, and within days my symptoms started to change. And of course, like yeah, placebo effect is there too. You're excited about something, but what I realized was that not all water is created equal. All right, so I'm not saying that water is going to cure anything, but what I'm saying is the water you're drinking is definitely going to affect the way you feel and how your vibration is perceived to the world. And yeah, so there's some certain properties of water that are very important. They need to pay attention to. First thing I'm going to discuss is the company itself. So, for me personally, I've been working in sales as a manufacturer's rep for 10 years. So, when I'm looking at a company, there's certain things I really look for. Number one, are they making the products themselves, right? There's companies out there that basically buy products and then assemble and put together, right? So they're not original equipment manufacturers. They're essentially a company with a name that's buying product from someone else and slapping their name on it, right? You got to watch out for guys like that because they make claims like lifetime warranty, for example. You'll see these companies pop up. They might try to advertise based on competition, bad talking competition, things like that. There's lots of red flags when you see these companies out there. But Enagic is a 45-year old company, founded in 1974. It's an OEM company, so they make everything in house. And the amazing part about that is if there's ever a problem with the machine, you're getting parts from the original equipment manufacturer. So if you need anything, you go to their licensed dealers and you deal with the company themselves. You're not dealing with some other party, you're dealing with the source. So they've been the top water ionization company for a number of years, and they are a member of the Direct Selling Association. So that's great. You can see globally, they've got offices all over the world. I'm in Vancouver here, so that's the office I go to. And in Canada, we only have two locations total. Awards and certifications, there's a number of them here, but the biggest that I believe is the WQA, the Water Quality Association, which is right here, the gold seal. So this is one of the standards that water companies are biting to hit. We're the only one with this, ionizing company with this logo. So that's huge for us when we're coveted about our quality. And then, certified quality, we've got the bunch of different ISO certifications here. 14001 essentially means that it's a medical device. These labels essentially allow us to bring it on a plane. So if you're traveling for work or pleasure, you can bring your water with you on the plane. Usually they say, hey, you got to throw out your water bottle, but because it is a certified device, you can show this ISO 14001 certification, and then you can bring it on the plane, which is awesome. So getting right into the product line. So you've got your ionizers, you've got your water, your shower filter, and then you've got your Kangen. So there's three products under our portfolio. Let's get into the machines first off. So the ionizers, obviously, what brought us to life in the beginning. These things have progressed substantially since the inception of the company, but really the technology is strictly the same in terms of the plates, the concept of ionization and electrolysis. That's all the same. The biggest piece to the puzzle here is the quality of the plates themselves within the machine, the construction of the device, and the actual output. So the ORP after the water has gone through the machine, right? So we can measure the quality of the water with devices. But essentially, the top device that we sell, the K8, that's the one I got. It's got 8 plates inside of it. And what these are titanium plates coated in platinum. And essentially, these conduct electrolysis. So the more plates, more surface area you have, the greater amount of power you can generate, and the ORP therefore will be a stronger number. So in the K8 case, we can get down to about minus 850 millivolts. And that, what that really means is that you're getting more antioxidants, molecular hydrogen into your body per glass of water. So that's really the major difference between the machines, is how much ORP am I getting out of that water. So these things are really easy to install. They plug into universal plugins, 120, 220, etc. In terms of installation, they come with adapters, so you can install on virtually any household tap or faucet. If it doesn't work on your kitchen at home, we can direct you towards other options, and there are custom installs for people that want that really slick look in the kitchen with no cords, etc. This machine has the ability to make 7 different types of water, and it speaks 8 different languages. This one also self-cleans itself. So essentially, you press a button and you walk away and it starts cleaning. The other ones, you have to do a little bit more work to it. So this self-cleaning function is nice. So I mentioned properties. We got 3 unique properties of the water that really make this special. So number 1, antioxidation. An oxidant is something that oxidizes, like an apple. When you cut it and it starts to turn brown, that's just because it's introduced to the air. The oxygen is therefore oxidizing the apple, it's turning brown. Superior hydration. So the actual molecular structure of Kangen water changes. So once it goes through electrolysis, you're changing the tap water structure from about 16 molecules down to about 6 to 9 molecules. So the structure itself comes quite down. So you can, these molecules can easily enter the cells and what I think about there is like a bottle and say a pack of grapes. And if you were to try and push that whole pack of grapes in a bottle, it'd be really difficult. But if you took each grape off and just dropped it in the bottle one by one, it would be nice, right? And that's how I kind of think of it with ourselves, right? We're just reducing the structure. It's easier to drink. It hydrates us quicker. And that's one of the reasons it gets to the blood-brain barrier so quickly and penetrates it, is because of the molecular structure being so small. And then lastly, alkalization, which I think a lot of people think is the main property, alkalizing, but it's really not. I mean, the major thing is the ORP, the antioxidant, and the superior hydration. The alkalinity is a slight factor. Yes, it's great that we can make a higher pH water, but if it was only pH that we adjusted, this water wouldn't do much. In fact, it could cause damage if all we did was change the pH. And that's what a lot of other companies do, is they manipulate the pH by adding mineralization to the water. So for example, in a reverse osmosis system, they'll remove all the minerals and then add it back. So by adding the minerals back into the water, we're actually risking alkalosis if we put too much minerals back, because those minerals are permanent. Whereas with the Kangen machine, through ionization and electrolysis, it's a temporary boost in pH. So you have this electric shock that happens to the water, and it basically lasts 4 to 5 days, depending what machine. And then after that, it comes back to baseline. This is why you can't sell it in a store, because after 5 days, the water is essentially back to neutral. So it's key that you drink a continuous supply from a Kangen machine, daily and continuously. That's why this is so important on a daily basis to drink, because you're getting a constant influx of antioxidants, just like your vitamins, your minerals that you're trying to get every day. just think about it, another category being antioxidants. You're sort of doing that through food, but now you can really get to that top end optimal level of antioxidant just by getting a glass of water in you. Okay, I know that was a bit of a rant. So I mentioned that number one, antioxidation. I mentioned the apple. So that's the aging process. Essentially, the more we oxidize, and just by breathing, we're oxidizing. Okay, so if you're thinking, oh, I'm special, I'm hydrated, I'm not oxidizing, you're kidding yourself. You just don't know until you know. You think you're hydrated until you actually get hydrated. There's levels to this shit. And I'm telling you right now, the levels of hydration, if you think you're hydrated right now, that means you're kind of at a level where you might be sort of satiated most of the time. You might have a coffee, an acidic drink drops you down. Like you're always on that like brink of dehydration, right? So the key is you want to wake up feeling super hydrated every day. You want your brain to be flowing and fluid, right? You don't want to be brain fog. You don't want to be having headaches. Those are all signs of dehydration, guys. Okay, reduction potential. So this chart sums up what I was talking about here. On the left, you've got negatively charged options, I guess, and then on the right we have positively charged. So we can see that soda is really high, Kangen water being really low. So the more positive, the more negative is for your body, right? So if you're consuming products on the right hand side of this chart constantly, and fighting, say, a chronic disease like Crohn's disease in my case, I just say good luck at going into remission because, or maybe this is what you want. The drugs you're on are probably combating this, and you're just constantly upping your dose or changing drugs or adding more to your regimen, and you're just justifying it because it's like, hey, I got the drug, I can eat this, and I was stuck in that phase for a while too. But then you realize this is crazy. I'm just literally putting a band-aid or trying to take drugs so I can eat the shit that got me here in the first place, right? So if you're doing that, you got to stop. If you're eating the same things that got you into the disease state you're in or the sickness you're in, then you're kind of beating a dead horse and you need to stop. Let's move on. Superior hydration. So you can see the little bubbles there. Those bubbles are actually the molecular hydrogen floating around. So after it goes through electrolysis, you got one hose going up. That's your alkaline, your acidic hose on the bottom. All those little bubbles are the molecular hydrogen floating around in the water. And that's what I'm talking about, right? That's a gaseous substance. You're actually converting it from a liquid to a gas. And so hydrogen is a gas, meaning it can travel through your body extremely quickly. And that's why I say it can penetrate the blood-brain barrier in less than 30 seconds because it is a gas. So people with headaches or brain fog will notice an immediate relief with this, okay? And that's just simply because of the science behind it, all right? Okay, the human body is, 60% water. A lot of people say 75, but this is pretty precise here. So I like looking at the organs rather than the blood. A lot of people get confused, especially with pH, and mix up blood and organs, right? So blood pH 7.35 to 7.45, and it never goes outside of that. It stays in that range despite how much you eat that's acidic or alkaline. It's really hard to go outside of that range. Why? Because you'll die. So death can happen if you go extreme alkalosis or extreme acidosis, right? And so the nice thing here is that with Kangen water, we actually can optimize each organ, right? So let me take the liver, pancreas, gallbladder, some of those digestive organs, for example. The liver is an organ that requires a slight alkaline environment. So 8.5 is ideal for the liver to function. Same with the pancreas and small intestine. But then you got the stomach, which is optimal at a 2 pH. Okay, so you can start to see that there's a fluctuation depending on the organ. And so the key is, how do we optimize each organ? What pH does it optimally work at? And the nicest part about this is that Kangen water sort of fine tunes that and brings you back to a homeostasis level. So your kidneys, your liver, your gallbladder will all start to optimally work as it should, okay? And that's something that I realized over time. Before I got the water, I wasn't sure of this. And then, years later, you can really feel the difference. The alkalinity is important in terms of understanding it, but in terms of the health benefits, particularly, it's mostly coming from the ORP. The alkalinity, the slight shift in alkalinity allows the properties, the shift in electrolysis creates this, but ultimately it's not the pH that determines the health effects. This is a misconception. This is definitely something that people get wrong. And you hear the term alkaline water a lot. This is not alkaline water. This is electrolyzed, reduced water. So the technology, like I say, 5 different types we can produce. We can make a strong Kangen, which is 11.5 pH. We can make Kangen water or drinking water, 8.5 to 9.5. Clean water, 7 pH. Beauty water, 6. And then the strong acidic at 2.5. So we got this whole plethora of options when we're making water, right? And people are like, well, water's water. No, it's not. And actually, pH in this case does affect the application. So in terms of the health effects, we know that it's the ORP, but the application of the water, the pH is huge, right? So for example, the 6 water, which is beauty, is the exact same pH as a toner. So if you go to the store and buy a toner for your face, you're buying something that is essentially neutral, 6 in pH, and it balances your skin tone naturally. Rainwater is also 6 pH, right? Same concept there, but we get an endless supply out of our machines, right? People don't associate that, but that's a free perk with the device. Also, the clean water, if you have a baby, you can use this as a way to make your baby formula. So it's got a filter on it already. You're getting rid of all the contaminants. Like I got a pre-filter, then a filter, so it's extra. But yeah, overall, I'm drinking super clean water for my baby out of that 7 water, and I don't have to boil the water prior to. So it's a time saver, huge time saver. You can just go to the machine, hit the button, fill the bottle, shake it up, and give it to the kid. So that saved a big amount of time for us as well. Looking at the strong water, the 11.5 or the 11 water here, we have the ability to remove pesticides now from fruits and vegetables. All your fruits and veggies are coated in an oil-based pesticide. Unfortunately, oil-based is something that's not going to be removed by simply washing it with tap water. A lot of people just go scrub their fruits and vegetables under the sink and expect that to have solved the problem. But it doesn't. And I think it's just like in your head, you think it is doing it. And so you feel good, but you're not actually getting the pesticide off the vegetable, right? So you're consuming it. And I can show you that visibly with demonstrations. But really, if you want to remove that, you're going to have to buy some sort of degreaser product. And 11.5 water is a natural degreaser. So I can remove oils from my food. Let's say if I want to clean my car, I can remove the oils off the rims. My bike, I clean with the 11.5. It's a degreaser. So there's so many applications there. And then, of course, our drinking water, 8.5 to 9.5. And when you start off, you begin at 8.5, and then you slowly rise to 9.5 because your body's been drinking acidic shit for the last 30, whatever, how many years you've been doing this, and now you're changing. So whenever you change, you don't want to drastically change. You want to make slow change, and you go from 8.5 up to 9.5, and there's a regimen for it. Let's go down. So in terms of the demonstration, I do these demos all the time. If you want me to come to your home or you want to come to my home, just hit me up and we'll set this up. I can also do it virtually if you can't make it to my area or you're just located in another country, right? So feel free to hit me up, guys. Like I say, I'm always looking to educate, inform, and answer any questions. This is a huge passion of mine. And yeah, hopefully today you learned something. Take care.